Hi YouTube. So if you follow me on Facebook, you already know that I'm working on a new model, and it's a CAT D6XE bulldozer with a 6-way blade. And in this video I just wanted to showcase the model and show its features, and also I give some info on the coming build. I plan on making a build series of it, but I'm still waiting for parts for it, so it's going to have to wait a bit. But in the meantime, I will be working on a build manual for the new model, and I will release the files when I finish the build manual. So I'll show you the 3D model first, and then I'll move over to the workbench and show you the assembled 3D model. I've thrown it together. I didn't put all the screws in and stuff, but it's there so you can see what it looks like. So here's the 3D model. So on the bench you have my two D6 dosers. This is the old one and this is the new one. So the new one is the D6XE with a 6-way blade, and the old one is my first model released on Cults. And here you can see the size difference between them. The XE is a little wider because of the VPAT blade, or sorry, the 6-way blade. So because the blade has to go in between here, the tracks will sit a little more on the outside. And these tracks are actually steel. I bought them off AliExpress and they seem pretty good in quality actually. They are cast iron, I believe, so they're not really steel, but I think they will do the job. You have to press fit some cross pins on each track. It's really easy to assemble them. And you need 38 of them per side. The length of these tracks are a little longer than the old one. And that's because I went with the 10 roller option on the D6 when I designed it, so it will have a little longer, you can call it wheelbase. And it seems like 10 roller options were very important or very popular when I did research on this project. So the track tensioners for this is pretty simple. We have this hole that this slides in, and as you can see it's got a flat spot here, so that means that it can't move sideways. Once I put it in here, it can't move sideways, and it slides in and out pretty easily, and there's not much slop in here. And you can adjust the tension by putting more springs on it, or even harder springs. This is a M4 rod with a M4 nut. So you just put it in here, and there's a slot in here that it goes into, which keeps it in the middle. And then you put the rod inside here, like this. And now all I gotta do is put on the tracks. Alright, so I just put in a long 3mm screw just to keep them in place. So here you can see the tension now. These springs, you can put more tension on it if you want. And there's not a lot of sideways movement on this. And then we've got the sprockets. They can now be detached from a hub behind here. So you don't have to go through a lot of trouble in removing them. There's 3 screws inside this cover. You take this off and you remove the screws and you take the sprocket off. It's that simple. And then compared to the other one, the old one, we now have a working pendulum flex. So you can lift one side and the other stays down on the ground. It flexes a lot actually. It might be too much, but I'll see once I test it. While this one doesn't have any flex at all. It's a stiff dozer. So on the front of the XE we have the 6-way blade. I'm still missing actuators for this. As you can see, there's no actuator here, so these are the actuators I had laying around, and I've ordered all the actuators that I need. So once I get them, I will put them on and test it. But I've tested the lifting capacity and stuff with this one, and it seems to be pretty good so far. And these are, of course, 12 volts electric actuators that you have to use with speed controllers in order to make them work. And I've tried my best to make the blade not interfere with stuff when you change the angles and the tilt and when you lift it and stuff. So inside here on the bottom there's a ball end, and that's where all the force in front of the blade will hit. So that makes it able to rotate and go whichever way you want it to go. And all the angles should be more than the real D6, so this can move the blade in many directions. And on the back, let's see here, we have a ripper, and I don't have the actuator for it yet, but as you can see, there's a fake cylinder sitting here, and it will sit there. The actuator will actually sit inside the chassis back here, so you won't be seeing the actuator because these are so big. If I were to put it here, it will ruin the entire look of the dozer. So I kind of hid it away inside here. So I'm still waiting for the actuator. I think I've got the endpoints or the movements dialed in, but I'm gonna have to test it once I get the actuator. And this dozer will use the same motors that we use on the D6, the old version, the upgraded motors. So those are the 5840 555 80 RPM motors, except for these have the long shafts on them. They have about this long shafts which stick out and go into the sprockets. I think that's going to work better because it will also have a bearing before entering the sprocket. You'll see once you start building it. So I didn't put all the screws in. There's missing screws all around on this. I'm just putting it together to test fit all the parts. So there's really a lot of slop in everything. The running gear isn't even tightened in, it's just sitting here. So here you can see the back side. And all the green parts that you see here, they represent steel plates. So it's optional, but you can put steel plates instead of these 3D printed parts. That's up to you. You can either 3D print them or order steel. So on the Ripper we have steel. Yeah, you can see where it is. And we have steel on the roof just for weight. There's no other purpose of it. We've got steel in between here, and it's holding the rollers together and also guiding the tracks. And we've got 6mm steel. There's actually two 3mm plates here, one on the outside and one on the inside. So we got 6mm of steel in the chassis on each side, and we've got steel knife on the blade And then on the underside, we also got steel plates and a steel pendulum with steel mounts for the walking, as you can see. And also inside here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but let's see on the other side. Yeah, you can see it now. You can mount a 60mm fan in here to cool down everything inside. And there's holes on the sides where you see the wires go through, and they have kind of some it resembles a roof over them, so nothing will get inside. But those holes will also vent the hot air so it can go somewhere. And yeah, I think that's most of it covered. I still haven't designed the interior for this. I'll go ahead and do that. I'm ordering the steel for this one tonight, and I think I'll begin working on the build manual before I assemble it on camera, because I do plan on making a build series of this on YouTube. However, I think I'll create the build manual and release the files before I do that, because waiting for parts will take quite a while. And I also gotta say that I have never tried a 6-way blade before, but I do plan on building the normal push arm version of this dozer. So we will have a D6XE with the push arms on the sides, like this one, similar to this. And I'm also putting that in the same package as this one. So even though I won't release the push arm version in the release files, but it will come as an update later. Alright guys, so that's the project that I'm working on, and let's just cross our fingers and hope that the parts arrive soon, because I want to get going with this. And yeah, I can't wait to get painting and get this up and going. It's gonna be awesome. So, well, that's it for this video, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.